For more than a decade, Republicans have held the majority of governor's seats. But with 36 of the 50 states electing governors this year, that could change the partisan breakdown. Polls predict 5 toss-up races in Kansas, Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, and Oregon. In Kansas, Democratic incumbent Governor Laura Kelly is facing Republican Attorney General Derek Schmidt. Back in August, Kansas voted to protect their access to abortion in a statewide ballot measure, giving Democrats hope that Kelly can hold on. However, recently, Republicans have attacked Kelly over her veto of legislation on transgender students in school sports. In Nevada, Democratic Governor Steve Sisolak is also vulnerable against Republican contender Clark County Sheriff Joe Lombardo. Lombardo says he would fight against a national abortion ban, although he is Catholic and considers himself pro-life. In the historically Republican state of Arizona, where there is currently an open gubernatorial seat, Republican Kari Lake faces off with Democrat Katie Hobbs. Lake, a former TV anchor, is considered a far-right Republican candidate for election denialism. Hobbs gained national attention as Arizona's Secretary of State for fighting off Republican allegations of voter fraud in the 2020 presidential elections. Besides Kansas, Politico puts Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers as the most endangered Democratic incumbent in the country. Evers, who has mostly played defense against the GOP-controlled state legislature during his term, is competing with Republican businessman Tim Michels. In Oregon, where there is an open seat, there is a three-way contest between Democrat Tina Kotek, Republican Christine Drazan, and Independent Betsy Johnson. Since the pandemic, governors have taken a prominent role in making decisions for their respective states. Gubernatorial candidates this midterm face a myriad of challenges that mirror debates taking place nationwide, including abortion rights after the Supreme Court's decision to roll back Roe v. Wade in June. Dr. Jo Renee Formicola, a professor of political science from Seton Hall University, explains how big of an impact a governor can make in Americans' lives.
The gubernatorial elections are extremely important because every governor has the right to set up his own policy agenda, his own budget that reflects that policy agenda. And clearly, when you're choosing either pro-choice or pro-life governors or governors who espouse strong law and order policies, I mean, it's critical in what happens.
Based on a recent EWTN News and Real Clear Opinion poll, abortion is not the most important issue to Catholic voters as they look to the midterms. Only 10% of Catholics say abortion is the most important issue facing the nation, tied with immigration, while 34% say inflation, and another nearly 20% say the economy or jobs.
Inflation impacts everybody, rich and poor. And so I think this will be the number one issue, and I think this will be the issue that will tell how the agenda for the next 2 years is going to be set or modified or radically changed in some way for the 2024 election.
Andrea Picciotti-Bayer, director of the Conscious Project at the Catholic University of America, agrees that the economy is one of the main issues to keep an eye on this midterm election, along with religious freedom protections.
You know, the economy is a big issue, and we want all of our lawmakers at the state and the federal level to be paying attention to the stress that families are going through.
Dr. Formicola says there's no such thing as the Catholic vote, and the poll mirrors her opinion. Catholic voters seem to be split almost evenly among party lines.
The whole idea of the Catholic vote is a myth. And the reason it's a myth is because there is such a breadth of members in the Catholic Church that it would virtually be impossible to get that many people all on one page.
Regardless of party affiliation, Picciotti-Bayer encourages all Catholics to vote and advance the common good of society.
I would encourage everyone, regardless of where the different issues are on your list of priorities, don't forget the Catholic voice should be heard as a voice that's caring about our citizenry, that cares about the strength of our country, that cares about our communities, our schools, our neighborhoods.
Roselle Reyes, EWTN News in Depth.